Right, welcome everybody to another episode of Chris and Dave's Reality Cast. I'm one of your hosts, Chris Phelps, and my co-host and very good friend is Mr. Dave Horrocks.
Hey there, Chris, and hello to our listeners out there. Welcome to Chris and Dave's Reality TV Cast. We are covering Love Island Australia Season 3, Episodes 16 through to 20. Now, Chris, this is normally at the top of that bell curve for us, isn't it, in terms of the drama? I have to say, though, considering how much I've been enjoying this season and the cast of characters that we've got in here, I'm not massively enjoying this Casa Amor.
You know what, Dave? I'm glad you said that because, I think we've had a bit of a hangover from maths. We've had maths UK and then the maths Australia one was just different level. I've been struggling with this series. We've had some great feedback. People saying, look, we are not watching this now until you guys catch up. And we're doing, like say, 16 to 20. I've not felt it this series, Dave. And I think the Casa Amor thing, I think they've messed it up. I really do think this new format of the girls going one villa, the guys going another, and only one set gets the new people. I didn't understand that. The guys, obviously, as we talked about, the guys got 5 new girls while the girls were off in Casa Amor doing nothing. Then they swapped over, reversed it. It just seems like they've just dragged it out. And I don't think there's anything with these new guys, really, Dave. I felt nothing from them. They've really, and I don't know if it's the editing, but they've not come across well. Or there's nothing that shocks me. You get a couple of bits of chat, a couple of them making a play, but I've not felt like hooked in, like I was going to go, oh, this is terrible. I just don't feel, I think everyone's been a little bit too pleasant. There's been a few moments where I'm screaming at the telly, but not like normal, where I'm like, all in. I found this a real slog, and not because we're behind. I don't know whether it's because obviously we're doing a format of reviewing 5 episodes to catch up, aren't we? We usually do it daily, which we know we physically couldn't have done. Obviously, we said if someone wants to pay us our yearly salary, we will happily do that. But we've just not been able to. We've been so busy. So I don't know whether that's lost a bit of its thing, because usually we're reviewing every day. But I really felt Casa Amor was just a damp squib, Dave. Really bad.
Yeah, I don't know if it's something to do with maybe COVID or, maybe you've got to have a smaller crew so they actually can't deal with, filming everyone in completely separately in 2 locations. They have to, have like a skeleton crew at this little, the place where there's hardly any room. There's basically room for the either the girls first or the guys second, and that's it. I don't know. Or maybe they are just deliberately playing around with the format. But for me, it's lost some of that magic, because I like seeing it at the same time. I like seeing the events when they're occurring at the same time, not just, the boys are all off first, the girls are getting through, well, this is what's happening. And I don't know whether that's a good thing or a bad thing, but the girls already know, or they think they know based off the photographs, who's being good and who's not being good. And so they act accordingly. So you saw with Lexi, if they'd have gone off and done the traditional Casa Amor format, then she wouldn't have had a clue that Ryan was a total fuckboy bellend. I still do not, honestly, Chris, I do not understand why. But I tell you what, in these 5 episodes, I've gone from, you know what, I'm fucking done with Lexi. If you can't see that Ryan is a complete fuckboy, right, I'm done. I can't help you. But then I do end up like feeling sorry for her by the end of it. She wouldn't have known, Chris, and she'd have been there on her own at the end, and the recoupling, and we would have had a great Love Island moment. But instead, she knew Ryan was being a naughty boy, and then she went the other way. Then she was intentionally trying to couple up with some guy who she wasn't really that into, but she was just she was trying to. It was like a revenge coupling sort of thing, wasn't it?
Yeah, and I'm with you on that, because Lexi's really frustrating. She'd had the tears and I'm all over him and blah, blah, blah. And then it was like, but I still want him. And we get this a lot, don't we, on this show, Dave? With like couples where the other one sort of cheats on him or does something inappropriate with another contestant. And then they sort of meander back to them, don't they? They're scorned for a few days. I mean, look at the winners. This Liam and Millie, Dave, in the UK one. He was the ultimate scumbag, wasn't he? He cheated on her. He came back in. He had his arm round. I thought he got away with it. And then the girl came in and started fucking thing. And you could see Liam's like, he was so disrespectful, a smart ass face, didn't he, when Millie had realised and moved her arm and everything. It's strange because, Dave, Ryan is horrible, right? I've got to call him out. I mean, I've said about his fucking forehead. I don't know what's going on there. But the longer this goes on, the weirder he starts looking. And I don't like saying that too much. It's just more for comedy value because I'm not exactly a looker myself. But he's just horrid as a person. He's like you said, he's a fuckboy, an absolute Instagram fucking fake model, and that's all he is. He's got all the looks and everything. He's just there to serve himself. He is just such a bell end.
Yeah, I mean, I think we can jump around a little bit, can't we? So let's stick on Lexi and Ryan, because in these 5 episodes, like I say, Ryan's shown himself to be what he is. Lexi's then gone, and she knows that she has to couple up, and you get this the other guy whose name I can't remember right now, but he ends up going to try and chat up Lexi, and then they end up she picks him to go back into the villa, but she's only done that because she knows what Ryan's been up to, and that's how she used her time in Casa Amor, if you like. But Chris, in the game, it was so cringe when what was it Ryan said? He said something about Lexi not being that pretty or something, but her personality makes up for it.
Yeah, he said something like there's better looking people in here, and I'm just like, it's just horrid, Dave. Horrid thing to say. And then he sits there laughing his cock off, thinking he's being funny.
You know what it was like? You know the Office Christmas specials that we've just done. The first episode where David's in Garrett's office, and then they're sniping at each other, and they're trying to make a joke of it. He's like, "If you're a doctor, I'm not making an appointment. When you're a doctor, I'll make an appointment." But they're laughing, and it's this weird fake laughing that you're trying to just act and behave like, everything's a bit of a joke to me. And he just did it a bit too long. And in the end, he's gone from laughing to, this is fucking bullshit. He's not fucking happy about it at all. But I thought he was a fucking absolute prick there. And I thought that was his worst moment, to be honest.
Yeah, I did as well. And I think the thing is with Taylor, she's already getting this sort of, but I can see the good in him. He's not a good person, Taylor. He's a bellend, a complete fucking bellend. You're going to have a life of misery, Dave. You know what I mean? If they're still together or whatever they're doing, I don't know, but he's just a dick. And Lexi deserved better, Dave. I mean, she's got this thing with Lexi. She's almost got this sort of Joker smile, and that's her way of coping with things. But it does get a little bit frustrating when you're watching it, because I always think, have a bit of respect for yourself, Lexi. Do it. And the guy she got with was purely just to piss Ryan off. And I think as we talk this through, Hugh, that's it, yeah.
Hugh Barney McGrew.
McGrew, yeah, because he had a bit of a pop on the truth bite, didn't he, about her saying he would have just preferred to have gone home if he knew he was just going to be in a friendship sort of thing. So he'd had a bit of a...
He's a fucking fake nice guy as well, though, isn't he?
Yes.
Because initially he was giving it all, it's okay, it must be terrible for you. And then he gets into the villa and he's like, I should have gone home. I thought he was a massive cock as well. In fact, Chris, there's not many in here that I've actually warmed to. They're all the shower bastards.
Dave, that's so... No, it's true, though, because you get that. And obviously, when we're... I've got a problem with, and I said it last time, I don't like Ryan. I think he's an absolute dick. I don't like Courtney, Dave. She really pisses me off.
God.
She gets involved. Courtney, she's trying, like you said in the last episode, she's trying for these fucking hashtags to sort of... she knows what she's doing because of the media creator. And Dave, we got a bit of tea, didn't we? Because Mystic Horrocks... Now, what did we call your reality radar, Dave, in the last episode?
I think it was... the real reality radar.
Or something like the accurate,
the superior radar.
Now, I've got to applaud you. This is unheard of. It must be a leap year that you are correct 2 episodes running, Dave, because obviously I'm always correct on the reality radar. And my nose is hitting the screen as I say that. But don't say anything else, Dave. That's just not.
Yeah.
What's into that? But no, we did get told on Facebook that Courtney, as you quite rightly predicted, must be related to somebody high up, either production or an executive producer. And lo and behold, she's actually the daughter of someone who runs one of the TV channels, Dave. So absolutely, I am applauding you, my friend.
Yeah. Is it 9 now or something? That's who shows it, isn't it?
Yeah.
But yeah, I didn't really think that, that was a Hail Mary, that one, Chris, because I just couldn't figure out why the fuck, who would keep her in there. And I tell you what, Chris, got another bit of tea, another bit of Reddit tea here, that apparently it was all shot and they sort of drip fed it out. So it's not like, they shoot it and then the next day you get to see, well, this is what happened yesterday. Apparently there was a bit more of a lag to that. So even though everyone voted, you know what? The vote didn't count because they'd already filmed it.
It's right.
Fake,
fucking
Chris.
Hell, that
fake. They're bastards. Don't believe it.
Yeah.
Wrestling too. Wrestling is fake.
Don't say that, Dave. Don't say that. No,
predetermined.
What I got, the reason I've got a real problem with Courtney as well is the fact that she gets with that guy. Nick comes back in, who I've still say has got some of the most amazing eyes I've ever seen, Dave. Them fucking blue eyes look like so fake. And she's already dug Ryan in because Ryan's coming with Taylor. Lexi's there. All the girls are absolutely, totally upset. They're completely outraged that Ryan will do this to Lexi. They'd seen the videos anyway, so they knew something was coming. But they were outraged. And quite rightly, Ryan deserved all the shit he got. He was like, oh my God. Courtney does the same thing when Nick comes in, but somehow makes it about herself. Nick actually comes and literally apologizes while she's fucking lying in her fucking knicker drawer, fucking with her fake fucking crocodile tears, and was like, oh my God, he's not his own. And then he's crying. And I'm like, Nick, you're a knobhead, complete knobhead. You know what I mean? What a fucking dick. And nobody called her out. And I hate that on this show when things just go completely, because it's a favorable person. Obviously, the girls all love her. It's like girl code. Well, no, Ryan's a dick.
They might have done and just edited it out.
Well, they could have done. You're right. To be fair, you're actually correct. They could have done. But it also just pissed me off because I was like, Ryan's been called out quite rightly. He's a dick. But nobody called Courtney out. If anything, they felt sorry for her. And I'm like, she played a blinder, Dave, an absolute blinder.
What do you reckon was Nick's game, though? Because he was basically umming and ahhing about all of the girls.
Yeah, well, yeah.
I don't think he found that real connection, but it's not through want of trying. I just think he didn't, he was probably 51%, 49%, one way or the other. And then he's decided to come in single. And then the next minute, he's the fucking dream man then, isn't he? He's like knight in shining armor. There's a little halo above his head. It's like, oh, I can't believe it, and everyone's like, oh, Nick. And it's like, yeah, but he's still a bellend though, isn't he? It's only because he couldn't actually find anyone else. And I'm sure they only had like a couple of days in there, Chris. It's not like they had a week like normal. No,
I'm with you on that. It's usually spread over maybe 48 hours tops. That's it really. It's not a long one. You're correct, Dave. And I think he did say he was said at one point he's sort of single, didn't he? We did get stuff fed back to the girls, so obviously Courtney's perspective would have changed. I just found it hilarious. I was like, oh, you've played a blinder. The whole audience, no one's gone against you. That's, very, very clever game playing. But again, she's getting involved in everyone's arguments and little chats with people. I'm just like, fuck off. Just fucking, she should be in there. I'm with you.
She's just annoying.
Oh, she's a fucking bell end completely. But Dave, let's talk about I suppose the biggest drama of these 5 episodes, other than Ryan, Aaron, and what's she called?
Jess.
Jess. And Jess, I called her out what she did to Taku with Aaron. They've gone full 180. And then I spotted a little bit her then going, oh, hang on a minute, it's over with Aaron. Who's single? I tell you what, let's go back to Taku, because Taku hasn't been fucked around by every girl he's got with in this fucking series, but he is with someone now. And I was like, don't you dare do that to Taku.
Yeah. I don't know. I mean, I just don't get them. You know what I did think in this last kind of 5 episodes was I think Aaron has made less of a dick of himself than in the earlier episodes. So had he not, done what he'd done earlier, I don't think he'd have stood out as such a bell end here. But that whole argument, I found it puzzling. Now, so apparently this all kicked off because Jess was dancing around and apparently a boob fell out. Editors, what are you doing? Come on.
I had my magnifying glass out, Dave. I didn't see anything.
No, Jess said, Aaron looked at her in a disgusted way. Now, again, if this was caught on camera, it wasn't shown on camera. So us as the viewers, we don't really know what the truth is. But whatever the truth is, I think they both handled that whole conflict really poorly. So it was like they were both speaking slightly different languages. They just weren't actually listening to each other and, hearing what the other person had to say. So, I mean, do you think Aaron would have looked at her in this disgusted way? I mean, Chris, you can't win, can you? Because if you look at her in a disgusted way, or if you do the old Sid James,
That's so wrong.
See, you can't do that. That's wrong as well.
Yeah.
No, so I don't know. I don't know if he did or if he didn't, but I would find it difficult to comprehend that he did. But then if he has just caught a bit of a glance like that, the way he was trying to just brush it off, I thought he was using the wrong words there. I think he just had to acknowledge if she felt like that. But then he got into it like a gaslighting mode, like just no, you're being silly. It's like you might have just caught my fucking resting bitch face kind of thing, but honestly, I didn't mean that. I don't know. I just thought it was. I just found the whole argument really confusing, but it just kind of escalated from there, really, didn't it?
Yeah, I mean, I can tell a story, Dev, and I agree. I have got a story about myself, Dave. So it was a wardrobe malfunction. So basically, I was at a family barbecue many years ago, Dave, many years ago. And we're all sat there, summer, got my shorts on, we're all having a good laugh, a few drinks and everything. And one of my pocket billiards may have slipped out of my shorts, Dave, which I didn't realise. And I had my friend and everyone else just taking the piss, Dave, completely, for about 10 minutes. I didn't know what they were laughing at. And I'm like, what is going on? I was sat there with your legs crossed sort of thing. But my leg, my leg was, I said, David Brent moment. It's not, well, Dave, it wasn't the Sharon Stone moment anyway that people think. So it was literally a dropped bollock, shall we say. It was fucking ridiculous. So I've been there,
Friends.
Which one?
It wasn't there someone in Friends who had like the short shorts on?
Oh,
I don't think it was.
No, it wasn't Friends. Was it Friends?
There was an episode of Friends, and one of the
Well,
supporting characters who's in it for an episode or something, just wore these like Bermuda shorts, and then he
oh,
put
he
his
was in
leg
the
up,
yeah, he was in the apartment, wasn't he? Yeah, yeah. Well,
and like
Dave, to be
Chandler's
fair,
like trying to avoid eye contact, kind of thing.
yes, yeah. To be fair, not that I noticed, Dave, every single episode, but Jennifer Aniston never wore top underwear, shall we say, Dave? That's all I'm going to say. That's
I
I
never
no,
noticed.
no, I hadn't. Yeah, it's just what I've heard. But anyway, let's move quickly on that one, Dave.
Top underwear. Oh dear! I heard it was
That's
really cold in
terrible.
those studios as well. But
Really
Chris,
cold, yeah.
yeah, Chris, moving right along. What did you make of that argument?
It seemed
Aaron
to
and
come
Jess,
from,
by the way.
yeah, yes, yeah. It seemed to come from no, because by the way, just want to get onto that. What I was getting at is Sam didn't give me the side eye. She ridiculed me as well, Dave, with everyone else. That's what I was getting at. That's what the point of
Oh,
the
right,
story
right,
was.
right.
So it wasn't just, oh, I've just shown me bollocks to everybody. It was actually that my wife thought he was fucking hilarious as well, Dave. So
Yeah.
anyway, right. So let's go. That's
Well,
right.
there's one thing, so if you think, remember when Ryan and Lexi went into the hideaway
Yes.
and Aaron was like, and Ryan said, we didn't sleep together. Bet she's fucking happy about that now. And Aaron was like, oh, it makes me respect her even more. That was just a little clue, I think, about just how he kind of views women and how women should behave, kind of thing. So that's what puts a doubt in my mind. So did he give her a little bit of a nasty look or something like that? So I'm genuinely not sure. I wish they could have caught it on camera and we saw it to really see if he did or not. But yeah. So sorry,
Yeah.
back to you.
No. I think you're right. I think I found it weird. It came from nowhere. And then Aaron had a couple of discussions later. He's packing his bags. I'm going. And then she's going, not bothered about him. She's going, don't do this to me. Oh, is that because the all inclusive holiday is going to fucking be all over for you? I think so as well. So that's all she was about. And that's when she started doing the doe eyes to Taku. And I was like, oh, please, Taku, don't fall for this again. Now, obviously, we've stopped at episode 20, so I could be talking absolute bollocks. And people listening might be like, if they've watched it, like, Chris, you are talking bollocks. However, it's there in the background.
I must admit, I found it a bit annoying because basically Jess had got to the point where she didn't say the word, but basically Aaron was giving her the ick. All the stuff that she was saying to the other girls, that's what it implied. And when he's sort of doing his 12-year-old, I'm leaving home, and going to the bottom of the garden sort of thing. That's what Aaron's doing. And she's like, why are you doing this? And he's like, what sort of question is that? You've been arguing for about 3 days. Why do you think he's doing it? So I don't know. Do you think he'll actually go though?
I'd like to think he's not doing the, oh my God, this is terrible. But then he's faking it and he's probably not put anything in his fucking case, Dave, and it's empty. And then it's all like, don't go, save us. I think he's serious. I do think he's serious. But we did see it. What did we watch where it was like, I'm off, I'm going, I'm off. And every couple of episodes, this person kept saying they were off one of the shows we've done. And you're like, it's not, no, you're not going anywhere. You're not going anywhere. It was weird. It's weird. It just, I think he's being serious. I think he knows that it's over between them two.
I think the pair of them are really emotionally immature. And I suspect, so you're saying he's going to go, I'm going to say he's going to stay. And he just wants a bit of drama. He wants Jess to actually feel like he is going to go. But they say, I want you to stay. And then he'll go, oh, okay. So I don't know. Again, people out there are probably like, well, one of us is right and one of us is wrong. So let's see how that one turns out. But Chris, you mentioned Taku a couple of times there. I mean, he's not had much luck, has he?
No.
He's the only fucker who goes into Casa Amor, comes back with no one to no one. I don't think I've ever seen that before.
No, and look, all the girls were going crazy for Taku, weren't they? Because he deserved that. It did. It always brings in my head your line, "Friend Island," because all the girls were getting dead emotional that he might not be with someone. But it's like, but you're
Yeah,
in there to find somebody. What are you supposed to be doing? That's the whole point. You're in there to find a partner. You're not in there to all go on a fucking 18 to 30 Beano. I know that most of them treat it like that when they're not with someone, but it just, I didn't understand that. He deserves better, Taku, and he has been pissed about without a doubt. And now he's with someone, Dave. I'm happy. I don't know how far they're going to go, but I'm happy. And they seem really genuine.
Oh, you know what? I just muddled it up in my head. So he did couple up in the end, though, didn't he? But only because the girl had binned him off.
Yes.
So he came back in. Oh, what's her name?
Was
Oh,
it,
what am I asking you for?
yeah. Was it Alexis? Was it Alexis?
Is it Michaela?
I could be. I don't. I've got Alexis one, but yeah,
Michaela? Alexis? No.
I don't know who it was. But
Alexa?
anyway, yeah.
Who was Taku going in with? No, I think it was
Mine's in the other
Michaela.
room.
But it was
Right.
because what was her name? He was with he slept in the bed of Michaela the first night, and then it was the other girl who he got with.
Oh, the one with the one with and then she kicked off, didn't she? Because he sort of realized he'd made a mistake and was like, I need to keep the options open. And she saw her ass, didn't she? Yeah. She had black
Yeah,
hair,
so
didn't she?
it was just a bit weird. But yeah, sort of in my head, I'd forgotten that last bit. Yeah, he did come back in with Michaela. So yeah, it was a bit brutal, wasn't it? So if you were single, then that was it. You were gone. So yeah, I'm remembering now. Seems
Well,
like a
Dave,
while since I watched this one.
no, and it is, and it's difficult as well because we're doing a slightly different format, aren't we? We usually go day to day and go for it, but it is difficult. There's a lot. What I found, what you know, what's strange is because we're reviewing it slightly differently. I found that there's so much filler shit that in the long run means nothing, but we get embroiled in all of it, and it's weird because I've got to say, Dave, I am fully into Selling Sunset. I've watched it again on Netflix. The fourth series has just finished. Well, it's on Netflix. You can watch it. But there's also Selling Sunset Tampa, Dave, a spin off. And we're watching that now as well. Oh, Dave,
Right.
unbelievable. Oh, but there is a sport one. Now, I don't know whether you're going to want to do this because you may have watched it because it's my connection to my beloved Manchester United. But the class of '92 is on again on Sky, Dave. It's on Sky Sports, but it's actually the behind the scenes stuff again over the last 18 months, 2 years at Salford City. So that's a reality TV show, even though the events are real and it's around
Mm.
football. But what I found, David, as a United fan, they keep all their friends together with them, all the ex-players. Doesn't always work out like that, Dave. They kept the friends close, but it's fucking the club up when I've been watching this. So that's a good watch. That I must admit, if you want a sport reality show, it's the class of '92. I think it's season 4 or something like that.
Yeah, I wouldn't mind watching that. But what's that now, Chris? Almost 30 years ago. I try not to think about it. In my head, it's about 20 years ago.
Oh, I don't know, Dave. You know what? You're not wrong. I was watching. I was talking to a guy yesterday I had a puncher on my works van, and the guy from the AA come and he went, "Oh, I'm about to retire. I've been a manager. I've downgraded myself." He went, "I started here 37 years ago," and I'm thinking, "Fucking hell, he's been here since the '70s." He went, "1985," and I'm like, "Holy shit! I was 7. What is going on?" That is bad, mate. That is bad. Oh
Yeah.
God.
Now,
Okay, no.
Chris, anything about the other couples? I mean, Mitch and Tina, they had their wobble earlier in the season, obviously with Emily, but they look pretty strong. Chris and Zoe didn't particularly look like either of them were tempted. So,
No, I don't. No, I don't see anything. I think Mitch and Tina are looking the most solid at the moment. I like Tina's honesty because she will tackle things that other people
mm,
won't, and she does call stuff out. Mitch, I still say he's a fucking man child. He's about 48, that fucker, but he's supposed to be 24, 25. He really does look older than what he is. But when someone leaves though, Dave, and they're all crying, it fucking pisses me off. I'm just like,
especially
it's a fucking joke. This
to an adjacent hotel.
Yeah, exactly.
I could literally send little paper aeroplane notes to you.
It's pathetic. It's absolutely pathetic. I'm like, you grown fucking men and women. What is the fucking matter with you? It really does piss me right off on this show.
I don't know. It sort of reminds me of the end of the In-Betweeners, the first one, you know, where they meet, they end up coupling up on holiday, and then they're bawling their eyes out at the airport at the end. It's like that.
No.
But at least they were, you know, going somewhere else. I think for this lot, like I say, they'll all be back, no doubt, for the final. So they can't be jetting off back home or anything. They'll literally be in a hotel somewhere close. So
yeah,
it's nonsense, isn't it?
It is, and you know what I always find when they do get like the old contestants back for like the finals and stuff. They used to on Big Brother because they've gone in there as nobodies, and none of the public really know who they are or anything. They get that little bit of fame, say 2 or 3 weeks before we see them again. And they've been to the opening of a fucking letter and all that. They've been to every fucking feasible thing you can think of. And they think the big time. They think that they fucking, you know, they all like come in new gear and they've got sponsorship deals. And these always, they lose that rawness and then just become like everyone else where it's like, oh my God, I need this fucking fame. And when you get like the presenters talking to the ex-contestants, they really, really want to chat for as long as they can, don't they? Just to get, hi, it's me. The UK Love Island reunion this year was fucking rubbish.
Oh, it's horrendous, wasn't it?
Oh, Dave, Laura Whitmore was like a fucking door. She was absolutely, there was no fucking, the fucking door. Fucking great analogy, Chris. There was no fucking personality. Her jokes fell flat. What I mean is she had the fucking personality of a wardrobe, as I always say, because she just had nothing. She was so wooden, so stiff. The jokes were pre-canned, but when they kept playing up to some of the jokes through the series, they just fell on their arse. I know because of COVID, the format had to change, but it was shit. And that's what, when it gets to that bit of this series, when they all come back, maybe the last episode, I'm out there. I'm sort of like, I can't be doing you fucking fame-hungry fuckers. You've given us 4 or 5 weeks of great entertainment. That's enough for me, right? Like, because you talk about it now, the UK one. We are well in on the UK one. We were all in this series. I would struggle now, unless you put the pictures in front of me, Dave, most of the contestants, you know, Liam Millie and all that, you know, it'd take me a while to get the names back because they're only present for as long as that show comes on, the reunion. Then after that, God, these will be the same because there was a reunion of Australian Love Island Series 1. And I was like, some of them are recognised and some of them like, I've not got a fucking clue who you are because they've changed their appearance a little bit and it's been a couple of years. But anyway, I've rambled on enough there, Dave. That's where I am at the moment.
It's enough for them, though, isn't it, to do their David Brent tour of the nightclubs?
Oh my God, that is just, and they get paid well.
That's what they do, though, isn't it? 500 quid a pop it was for David Brent in 2003. Imagine what you could get now.
Fucking telling you. Well, me and Sam are watching another reality one. We're watching the one I've said to you before from the first series. You watched Love Island, so we've got Mike. You know, who was with Amber. You got Mike.
Oh yeah.
You've got Jordan, who was with Anna.
He appears on all of them, Michael. Doesn't
he? Yeah. You got him. You've got Chris, who I don't know whether he was on their series. You know, Chris with a massive quiff. You see the silly salmon when he jumped. Maybe he was on.
He was the original. They're all doing the salmon now, aren't they?
He was
doing it.
These were doing it. Courtney did it, and I was like, I watched her doing it, going, "Oh, fuck off! We've seen this before." Not just her. There's other people doing it. Not just singling her out for that, but there's a few done it. Then there was these thingy as well. There's another lad who's on there, but basically, I think it's Aaron. They all live together in a house. I've told about this show before. It's on MTV, and they've got like this, obviously rented by fucking MTV, and they're supposed to live there. And then they get this like camper van and go touring. They're doing stupid things. Like Jordan lost a bet the other day, so they actually put him against the lamppost and made him into a scarecrow with a brush and put hay down his top and left him in the sun, Dave. And they're all sat there behind him having a drink. So there's a few.
Skin cancer's hilarious.
Well, yeah, no, that I kept thinking that, thinking, it's not the best that dehydrating and stuff, but he's there with a brush between his arms, like waiting, and he sellotapes him to the lamppost and stuff. But it's like that sort of stuff. But we're on the second series, and I don't know what it is. It's absolutely terrible. I mean, Sam can't stop watching it, Dave. It's terrible.
It's that
show.
one that appears on Gogglebox where they do karaoke or something. They get like 5 of them in a room.
Oh my God. Awful. Oh my
worst.
God.
I don't know how they commission this shit.
Oh, it's terrible. And the thing is, because I watch all the reality stuff, I know them. You've got Tanya Bardsley off Housewives of Cheshire, who's married to Phil Bardsley, footy player. You've got David, who's called El Jefe off a Beef a Weekender. I've watched that since the start, Dave. They're all reality TV people, but because they're fighting for that spot of the most limelight on this half-hour show. It's fucking awful show. They're singing. None of them can sing. And they just get pissed. The only good thing is they get pissed and have a drink, don't they? And they get wankered. But
yeah,
I've got to say, Dave, that is literally the scraping the shit off the bottom of my shoe reality show. It is terrible, that show.
It's horrendous, isn't it?
Oh my
But anyway, Chris, I think there's 27 episodes of this. So
yes,
I guess we've got a choice. We've been doing it in 5 show blocks, but should we just put a bit of a spurt on and, finish it right through to the end? Give it a big finish.
Let's give it a... I like big finish, Dave. Yeah, let's do a big finish.
Well, I was talking about Sid James, so I've got to get a double entendre in there, haven't I? So.
My head had gone somewhere else, Dave, but there you go, yeah. People listening are like, who the fuck's Sid James? But just put Sid James in Carry On films on Google, guys, if you're not from the UK. Basically, a lecherous old fucker who used to chase women in the 60s, and he was about 60.
Fucking half his age.
Yeah, he was about 60 and always copped off with girls who were like in the 20s or something, but nobody questioned it. When I was a kid, I always just think, Sid James is a legend. When I was a teenager, I'm like, that is so fucking wrong.
Really wrong.
Fucking wrong, completely. His thing was hilarious. It's so bad.
I was watching. I'll have to dig it out. I was watching a Carry On compilation thing on YouTube. It's just horrendously misogynistic. It is so bad. Like, you've got I think it might have been Carry On Matron or something like that, and you've got Barbara Windsor kind of walking through in a little nurse's outfit, and you got like the patients and that are literally, Chris, going cool.
But the thing is, Barbara Windsor's got like sussies on with the lines down the back. I've never seen a fucking nurse or anything wearing that. So, as a kid, watching the Carry On movies like that, them Carry On films, I always, and maybe some other films I watched in my time, Dave, I always thought that nurses were there in fucking 5-inch heels and the fucking 3 or 4 buttons 3 or 4 buttons undone. Never been like that when I've been in the fucking hospital. So fucking nonsense. But I did growing up. I used to think, I'd love to meet a nurse. Every time I met them, I was like, they're just normal people. It's not like that. I'm fucking horrendous.
They're not Barbara Windsor.
Yeah, they're not Barbara Windsor. They don't want to give you a bed bath, Chris. It's fucking wrong.
Oh dear, I'm gonna have to dig that clip out.
You'll have to put it up.
It was quite a short one, and
so bad.
It just made me laugh. But Chris, how can everyone get in contact with us?
Well, thank you guys again. This will be our last one before Christmas. We will race away and get the last, as Dave said, the last 7 episodes boxed off, and then we'll come back and complete the series. So thank you for sticking around. Please enjoy Christmas, and obviously, if we do speak to you before New Year, have a great time there with your family and that. Rest up and just watch loads of reality stuff. And hopefully some of the suggestions I've said you may stay well clear of, because I know Dave will, because me and Sam just watch shit, but
yeah, I'm planning on watching some good TV for Christmas.
Yeah, not some shit ones. Anyway, big thanks to everyone on Patreon, patreon.com/CD Reality Cast. If you want to get over there and support us, we really appreciate everyone who supports us now, past and present. We absolutely appreciate it. It's so humbling of you. If you want to follow us on social media, at CD Reality Cast, and if you want to email us, cdrealitycast@gmail.com, and get over to Facebook, Chris and Dave's Reality TV Cast. Again, thank you so much for our good friend Charlene for policing and marshalling that Facebook page. We really appreciate it, and we have some good fun on there, guys. It's really good to do that, Charlene. So thank you. Thank you to everyone. So the roll call of honor for today is Michelle, Keith, Helen, Brianna, Noreen, Amy, Zoe, Joanna, Helen, Libby, Katie, Dee Dee, Priscilla, Susan, Lauren, Lucky Lily Green, and Kent Gustafson. So thank you so much, guys. So good of you. And yeah, let's do it, Dave. Let's get these 7 boxed off, and then we can see what we're going to do next.
Yeah, let's have Christmas. Let's have Christmas in the new year and then figure it out. And let's do one series. New Year's resolution. Let's only do one series at a time.
At a time. Please, for the love of God. Think of the children, Dave.
We're such bellends, aren't we? Yeah, we agree. Do you remember the first time we did UK and the US together? And after that, we were exhausted, and it was like, Jesus, we're never doing that again. And then give it a few months, and we sort of just end up falling into it again.
Yeah, but I've got to take full responsibility. That first time we did Love Island, and we got such a buzz off doing it, didn't we? And then we had loads of people all of a sudden listening to us, and we were like, obviously we do other podcasts, but we were like, this is so nice. Other people love this shit. You were a reality star, a reality virgin, cynic. Really, because cynic, really. Yeah, you've never really been into this sort of thing at all, other than the original Big Brother.
No. Remember, I was there for Big Brother.
Big Brother, yeah. I agree with that. You love that bubble and everything. That was the one.
Something about Miriam.
Yes, something about Miriam. But you said you're like me. You have an obsessive side, and it takes over your life. So you were like, right, I'm not doing this anymore. But we got into it, and then some knobhead Dave that, as part of our duo, is not called Dave Horrocks, then decided to announce on the show we were doing Love Island USA with no warning to my co-host. And then you ring me when you're a Bella, and everyone was going, you've got to do it. And I'm like, holy shit, you know what I mean? So I do apologize, Dave, for that. But we will be doing that, guys, trying to do just one show at a time, because we had 3 on the go this time, didn't we, Dave? It was ridiculous. It really was.
Twice. This year, we literally fucking idiots. Like we'd done it with we'd done it earlier in the year, and then I think we had maths, and then was it Love Island starting again, and then Bachelorette, and we sort of ended up falling into it again. And like, motherfucker. I tell you what, Chris, and I completely agree. So if I forget when we do call it out, so have a very Merry Christmas, everyone. Hope you have a great New Year as well. But Chris, I have to say, for me, this year, so 2021, has been the year of maths for me personally. I just think of the Love Island seasons that we've watched, and of the maths seasons that we've watched, maths Australia in particular, I think that's got to be my favourite. And I just think, especially with this Casa Amor, I think this Love Island had the potential when it started off, but Casa Amor's left me a little bit cold on this season. So for me, it's maths. I mean, how about yourself?
Yeah, without a doubt. I thought Maths UK was good, but then when we got the Australian one, and I was like, oh, this is on a different level. And it's still going now, as we talked about the other day with Sam and Bryce, and they're going to have a fight now. So
that was pure setup, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was. But Dave, I'll be tuning in. I'll be trying to find that fight on YouTube.
I'll fucking pay-per-view it. I tell you what, Sam's been working out by the looks of it. He actually won his fight.
Yeah, he looks good, doesn't he?
Yeah, he must have been at it for a while. So yeah, we'll be there.
Yeah, good stuff, Dave. Good stuff. I was having a heart attack then, Dave, because I've just seen a learner driver do a 3-point turn and keep reversing into my brand new 71 plate van. And I'm thinking, he hasn't hit it, thank God, but I literally was looking, waiting for the bump, and I'm like, oh, that's not what we need before. He hasn't, thank God, Dave, thank God. So anyway, there you go. Right,
all right, mate. Well, Merry Christmas to you, and I'll speak to you next time.
Merry Christmas, mate. And everyone out there, take care. Bye.